Hello, everyone, and welcome to Doing Business in Bentonville. My name is Andy Wilson, and I'm the Executive Director, and I'm so excited that you're with us today. We have such a great podcast. In fact, I'm just going to get straight to it today. I want to welcome my guest today, Jeanelle Harris. Jeanelle, welcome.
Thank you.
It is so good to have you. And I will tell you, we're going to talk about some great stuff today. And but first, we're going to talk about Jeanelle and her company and all the stuff that's going on. And I want to tell you, we're just going to get into some things around the culture, things around people. Of course, we're going to get to talk about product. I'm so excited to talk about product. You know, when you hang around Walmart as long as I had, we all think we're merchants. So we know we're going to get to talk. So Jeanelle is the CEO of Outdoor Cap. So Jeanelle, how long have you been at Outdoor Cap?
I've been at Outdoor Cap for 5 years now.
Wonderful. And prior to Outdoor Cap, talk to us a bit about what you did, so working your way up to the CEO.
Well, prior to, getting fresh start in a career, I actually went to work for the state of Arkansas.
Awesome.
I had a health science background, and so I went to work for the state teaching school districts, school boards, administrators about nutrition and physical activity. Mm-hmm. And man, I was a road warrior and field tested, having to go in and talk to superintendents who really, they thought that it was important.
Yeah.
But it was in a time that BMI was hot in the political sphere. And I did that for about a year before I got an opportunity to get my foot into the Northwest Arkansas supplier community.
Okay.
And I really didn't know much about it. It was just a moment of being able to get my foot in the door. And I did that, and I started out as a business analyst for a company called Olivet International. Mm-hmm. And I ended up being there and working my way up to executive vice president over a course of about 15 or 16 years when I got recruited by Jim Hayworth to come and lead retail sales at Outdoor Cap.
Okay, we got to step back and talk about our friend Jim Hayworth a minute. But before we get to him and let's talk about that, because you were in charge of the Walmart account, I think, right? Or worked on the Walmart account for sure. What did you do with the Walmart account when you worked with that?
With all of it,
yes.
Anything from business analysis to supply chain to a junior account manager, to being an account manager to then leading the sales team, then to leading kind of the entire sales organization that was focused around this area.
Right.
So very thankful for the experience that I gained while working directly with Walmart. And I always, still to this day, I tell people Walmart is best in class. Yeah. They expect the very best. And if you have the opportunity to work on that account, you can learn how to be the best.
You're right. One of the things we're so fortunate with living here in Northwest Arkansas, with the Walmart, you mentioned Walmart, we got thousands and thousands of Walmart suppliers, if you will, that service from merchandise to analytics to everything in between, supply chain, all of that. And we're able to have such a wonderful group of talent here to do that. And it's such great opportunity for now that you moved into Outdoor Cap. So talk about that transition, and then we'll have to talk about Jim a moment, but talk about that transition to Outdoor Cap.
Well, coming into Outdoor Cap, I was brought in to lead their retail sales team. And bigger than Walmart, their entire book of business for retail. And I started that endeavor in January of 2019. And so it was really interesting timing in terms of just what has happened worldwide from the pandemic and supply chain disruption. And just a lot of challenges were occurring at that time, but we were able to come in and lead. I came into a really solid group of sales talent, and Outdoor Cap is, they develop a lot from within. They bring in experts when they need to. But I came into a really solid sales team that we just all connected almost immediately. And many of them are still there working through, and some have been promoted into other divisions. But from leading retail sales, I started just working because of my background was in total supply chain, product development, leading designers. So continued just to grow in capacity while under Jim. And I really thought that I'd have a little bit longer with him, but he ended up getting an opportunity of a lifetime. And he came in and said, Jeanelle, you really need to think about whether or not you want to carry the torch forward and lead the company.
That's wonderful. So, yeah. Wonderful. For a minute, we're talking about our friend Jim Hayworth. Jim and I worked together at Walmart for years and years. We sort of grew up there. We started very, very young out of school, and we just grew up together, and we both ran stores and districts and regions and divisions and all this kind of stuff. And then Jim had just a phenomenal career at Walmart. And I remember, I was really sad when he left, but I was really proud for him going to Outdoor Cap because I'd heard about that. So Outdoor Cap. So Jim, man, we're proud of you. Great job here, Jim Hayworth. I knew that you would mentor very well. You did that at Walmart. In fact, Jim, every time you just touched people's lives all over the world. So Jim, thank you for what you're doing, and good luck to you in your new endeavor that he just took. Right.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And we're thrilled to be back. He's back in leading Peak Holdings, which is back in the outdoor space with Big Rock Sports, which Outdoor Cap's connected to.
Oh, really?
So things have come a little bit more full circle. So we're going to be able to work together again.
Good. All right. Well, check out Jim Hayworth on LinkedIn. And Jim, we wish you really, really well. So, okay, Jeanelle. So Jim mentored you and got you ready, and now you are here as CEO for over 5 years.
I've been CEO for 2.
I guess president, and yes. And then Outdoor Cap over 5 years. That's right, yeah. Absolutely. And good. Well, let's talk about Outdoor Cap. Just for our viewers and listeners, I met your founder, Drew, his brother, and he and I worked together some on the Walmart stuff. And I met Paul probably 20 years ago plus. So talk about your company, because I want our viewers to really understand what a quality company Outdoor Cap is. So share with us about that.
Yes. So Outdoor Cap's 47 this year.
That's hard.
It is an evergreen company, and it's privately held. Paul started, we used to joke and say that it was in his garage, and I really thought that it was his garage, but it was in a spare bedroom. And he got his start really just going out and selling headwear to local decorator companies, which is why there's roots within promotional products there. But it's evergreen. And so not only is Paul in the business, his son Craig Mahan is in the business as well. And he has started, he interned, and then he went and worked for a financial institution and came back a salesperson and has been working his way up ever since. And now he's the president of Jump Brands, which is a subsidiary company.
Not surprising that was the requirement from Paul to learn the process.
Yes.
Until he was ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. And that really is, we have a lot of stories of growth from within, and it's because it is process driven. And we have remained in all of that time true to being headwear experts. And so headwear is baseball caps, it's straw caps, it's anything really from the neck up, which is what made Junk a perfect partnership with headbands to come in and be an adjacent business when it was acquired.
Great.
So, it's amazing. Paul is the chairman now, and he is gone less than he is in the building. I don't think that he'll ever retire because he just has a passion for the business and for the people and to get to come and be involved when he is here. But he's a wonderful leader and still mentor There's so much knowledge that every time we're together, I'm able just to soak up.
Awesome.
And this is my largest role. It's the first time that I've been in a CEO position, and I have a lot to learn. And so I'm thankful for both Jim and Paul and the other folks with tenure at Outdoor Cap and Junk have walked alongside to make sure that I knew where all the potholes are and where I could add the most value to lead the team forward.
Wonderful. But let's dig a bit deeper, because a bit about your culture and about your company, and so I in my research I seen where that PPAI, you're one of the best companies to work for. So talk about that rating. I know there's strict criteria around that. So you just didn't get that. You had to earn your way there. So how did you earn that ranking to be one of the best workforces in the country?
Well, first I'm going to rewind a little bit and talk about the cultural and business transformation that we've tried to undergo over the past few years.
Sure.
Our mission is to be, from craftsmanship to service, to be the most respected headwear experts. And our values are integrity, teamwork, and respect. And Paul, long ago, created some founders' pillars. And it was people, customer, product, operations, technology, and relationship.
Really?
And so we really, that it had been on our walls, but we realized that we needed to have some intentionality of making sure that we were living true to the values that he had created. And so we really made an intentional effort to get behind that. We reorganized and created an employee experience team. And now when we host a meeting, we're talking about people dynamics first. We no longer start with sales metrics. We're talking about our people dynamics as a very first, because we have to mean what we say if we say that our people really matter and they're first. And so we started at the top, really shifting our focus in our core leadership group of, if we're going to say that, we actually have to mean it. And so we employed an employee experience team to come in and really focus on that effort. And I know that without them and the effort of intentionality, we wouldn't have been able to earn a title of one of the best places to work. But from there, how that designation comes about is PPAI, the Promotional Products Association, they go out and they send surveys to your entire company. Anybody who has an email address in our company had to receive it, and they had to receive a specific percentage back to even be eligible. And then they rank everyone in terms of the responses. And so we, for the first time in 2023, received that designation. And I think it was a celebration for our people and by our people to be able to continue just to celebrate the community that we're trying to build to be the headwear experts, but enjoy doing it and kind of paving a new way.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations. When in my research and with a company and knowing Paul and a bit, from afar, but knowing his values, his personal and professional values, because I've seen those play out in my time around him. When I looked at your philosophy, your values of the company of integrity, teamwork, and respect, it did not surprise me at all. That those were your core values, and that's your foundational principles, and that you build on every day. And it's wonderful what you and the team. So I love this employee experience. So when they sent the survey out, did it go to your customers and employees, or how did that work?
This one specifically was around employees.
Okay, what to the employees? And so they filled out the survey. So they actually, your employees actually then filled the survey out, which you're able to, in order to be ranked at that level.
Yes.
So that's wonderful. That says a lot about you and your team, because that wouldn't have happened if you didn't believe that and your decisions didn't flow through those cultural principles.
I agree, and I also think it speaks to the quality of people that we have. To first, we had to have a specific percentage even participate. So being thankful that they would take the time to participate and that they have a positive mindset and framework about, because we know we're not perfect and we still have so much to improve upon, just in our day-to-day of removing complexity from our processes and better training, and we're working to increase our pay through the years. Just all of those things that we're still working on. But it made our leadership team was incredibly thankful that our people would take the time to rate us that way. And then on the customer side of things, for the first time last year, we started surveying to be able to get a net promoter score. And that is being spearheaded by our customer experience team. So people is our first pillar. We have an employee experience team. Customer is our very second pillar. We have a customer experience team. And so they've been working on the more customer-centric feedback to be able to really focus in if a customer does have a poor experience so that we make sure it doesn't happen again.
And this criteria that PPAI had, in my research again, not only your revenue and growth, but it talked about your development, your innovation, and care for your team. So, were there other criteria that you had to navigate and learn?
So for the designation, they looked at all of those things, and then they also look at environmental impact for sustainability efforts. So they looked at many of those things, and then they kind of ranked everybody and gave everybody specific designation.
So this is the first year you've received this award, correct?
Yes.
At this level, okay? Now, as you and your leadership team go to work every day and you think about it in your meetings, how has that changed or impacted you and your team? What have been your learnings from this experience? Are you a different leader today, or do you think differently? How do you process this each day?
I don't know that we think about being named to one of the best workplaces, but one thing that we do talk about is we know that we've come a long way, but we also don't want to ever feel as though we've arrived at any location, because the workforce needs change and evolve, just dependent on what might be happening and what pressures they may be feeling. Some of the things that I can think about with that specific thing of making sure that we never stop analyzing is when gas prices went up. I think it was, 2022. It's hard to remember.
Yeah, the $5 a gallon plus, right.
Driving everywhere, and the prices were just going up. And it was in 22 because we had a record sales year. And we all came together and said, our people are feeling this. Everything is going up. And we know that the spike in sales is probably not going to continue because it was very much supply chain driven of inventory being king. But we did know that we wanted to take care of our people. And so for a time when those prices were up, we gave stipends for gas allowances to the people that were most impacted by just feeling the pain in their pocketbook. And so we strive to make sure that as those things happen, when we say people first, we have to think about, yes, what's the impact of cost of freight for us, but first, what are our people feeling in their pocketbook? And so we still are just trying to look forward to make sure that we're continuing. We have our first ever wellness and safety coordinator that we hired that is focused not only on the safety and the OSHA stuff of making sure that we are best in class in our warehouse and all of our heavy machinery and our equipment, but also focused on just the well-being of our people. And that might show up and look like CPR classes.
Yeah.
It might show up and look like a wellness day. In fact, Junk is out of the office right now, celebrating their wellness day for mind, body, and soul. And they, that looks like yoga and a bike ride together and, just a lot of different things that we try to build in to make sure that we're taking care of our people. And we also added to our benefits package to create 24 hours of what we call care days, of just those days that we know that somebody might just need a mental health break. They might need to go outside and take a hike on a Friday instead of coming in and working. And so just looking at what we can do from an overall wellness. And so I think that is what has changed us, is making sure that we realize that we have to continue to focus. It's not something that we just are one and done, that we know that we have to continue to think about and know and research and listen to our people and what their needs are.
Well, that is so exciting, what you're doing, and your focus on your team, your people, and again, congratulations for all of that. And that's just going to, as you know, it's just going to make you such even a better company to serve your customers and to manufacture your products. And so again, congratulations to your whole team and all of your associates in your company. Now, the other thing I mentioned, we're going to get to talk about merchandise. So we're going to get to do that. So we're going to get to talk about headwear. Now, I will tell you, I went to the website, outdoorcap.com, and you get to see everything from the neck up. It's all there. So I love that. I have to remember that. So you do so much. And I know you have brought a couple items today. So talk to us about these items that you brought today and share with what you have.
I don't think anybody would be surprised that I would bring a cap. I don't know, today to show to you. And, it may look on the face of it like it's just a regular standard cap. But one thing that we want to make sure that we're doing is innovating for our customers. And fit is the number one decision tree point in a headwear purchase. And fit is very personal to an individual. And one of our best sellers across all of our different markets for the past, probably 6 or 7 years has been the mesh back trucker cap. And they're just everywhere. And one common complaint is that they're not really comfortable. They'll cut into your head a little bit, and you can wear them most of the day, but you might have an indentation and a little bit of a headache after. So our team went to work on how can we take the full, non-adjustable flex fit caps and make a trucker mesh back just as comfortable. And so as they started the development process, they also wanted to provide an option that had the environment, taken into consideration and accounted for. So over the course of 2 years, we developed what we call the OC Flex of the FLX. And this is a specific style that takes all of those things into consideration. It's a sustainability factor.
Okay. I'm not.
Yeah, bring into the on.
Okay, so this.
Yes.
So this is different.
So it is different. You can kind of pull on it. You can feel the flexibility.
It's flexible. Yes. Yes, most of them are not flexible.
Right. It makes it very comfortable.
Yeah.
That front polyester fabric is Reprieve. So it's actually made from recycled water bottles.
That's cool.
And then the mesh on the back is also recycled mesh. The snapback
This is
softer.
normally this is hard.
Yes.
But this is soft now.
It's a TPU back, and it makes it just a little bit softer
Yeah.
on the back of your head.
A nice headband.
It's got that sweatband.
Sweatband,
and
right.
the flex within it is what really gives it that comfort fit.
Now, you're right. This is amazing. Feeling this, touching this is so different than because I didn't pick it up before. And now, when is this available?
Well, it's available right now
Okay.
in our promotional products and team sports catalogs. We are actually showing it to retail. Walmart saw this at some of our last line reviews to be able to put some of this onto their modulars for the sheet benefits.
And this is just a different color of the same cap?
Yes, it's just a white version.
Right. This feels great. I think you're right. I think I could wear this more than an hour or two.
Yes.
Because the comfort level, the stretchability to this.
Well, I'm going to leave these with you, and then you can really wear it custom and let me know what you think.
I don't think I'll get to exit here. There's a lot of guys around here in the studio, and they'll probably tackle me for sure.
Yes, but I will say I had my husband wear test them.
Yeah.
And he at one point said, I really don't want you to share this with the rest of the world because I enjoy being the only one.
Yeah.
And of course, we put a Grab It Lion on his too, so he had a one of a kind of the flex. But we're really excited about this launch. Our customers have been excited about the launch. And this is just an effort to make sure that we're being innovative with the customer in mind and making sure that we're building in the right quality and value cues that they expect.
I think that's so exciting. Again, we love merchandise. Now, again, in my research, I learned that headwear is a marriage between art and science. Okay, I had no idea about that. So explain art and science. So you've probably done some of that here with your reinvention of this. But is that what you're talking about, art and science? Share some of that process.
I'll start with my own experience of when I came into Outdoor Cap, I thought that caps were going to be simple, right?
Right.
They are not. They're a very complex category, and that's because there are thousands of different shapes and styles and fits, and each different market expects a different look. So I'll give an example. One of our retail segments is within Farm and Fleet, Farm, Western stores. We license Wrangler as one of our headline license within that space, and we manufacture for some of the big brands within that space as well. Their number one shape is not going to be a standard dad cap or even a standard trucker cap like even this OC Flex, because they want more of that. Right now, what's trending is that higher crown, flat bill, and used to be their designs were also very simplistic. But now you take that art piece and our designer within our Farm and Fleet, her name is Dina, and she actually was told recently by a big brand that she knows their brand better than they do. And the reason is because the artistic ability that gets put into taking a plain black or white cap and turning it into something that really has brand appeal and something that is on an impulse buy, because headwear, the majority is impulse buy. Then somebody goes up to a shelf and says, man, that looks like my style.
Yeah.
And wants to put it on to make sure it fits them right. And then they put it in their cart.
Yeah.
And they buy it. So I would say that that's definitely a good definition of understanding that it's an engineer and design being put together to create.
That's awesome. And, I read that caps, there's stories behind caps. There's stories, like you're saying, that the different businesses, there's stories around caps, and And I have a lot of friends. They're serious about these caps. They're headwear, and they'll tell me a story, about this particular cap. Do you hear from your customers and on stories or things you hear back from customers? How does that work with your designers and your team?
Yes.
Do they do research or talk to customers?
They do. Sometimes it is from our research and knowing the market and knowing what our customers want. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes we actually receive feedback unsolicited of how a simple cap might have touched someone's life. Yeah. Because that is it. You wouldn't think it, but I'll say it was probably about 6 months ago. I got an email forwarded to me celebrating one of our employees. And one of our promotional products customers, the founder, had passed away. And his daughter was actually running the business. And he had one of our basic dad caps, a white dad cap. And he had worn it most of his life. That was his cap. He was true and loyal to that specific fit. And I'm certain that after one would wear out, he would just put on another and he would wear it out. And so she just needed one. And it was so that it could go with him. And I'll tell you the amount of tears and emotion that came through our entire team that day. And I think we all learned a valuable lesson about how much a cap can mean to someone, because it can almost become their identity.
Exactly.
Of who they are. So whether a customer is an avid, we have a salesperson who he switches every 5 weeks. He has a new cap, and that's his standard. And every 5 weeks, I try to put on a new cap. But some people get one, and they stick with it forever.
I love it. It's just so exciting to hear the story. Thanks for sharing that story with us, because I know as our viewers, and we're probably talking to a lot of cap people, a lot of headwear people right now that have their favorite cap or hat and things, and you're connected emotionally to those products. And it's wonderful to hear you talk about your team and your designers and the care and the research that's put in to headwear. You don't think about it most days, but I know you do every day. But you see it, and I know. So you have been your designers and expertise. I read that you have over 100 years of experience in your company around this design expertise. That's amazing. That you have that type of talent inside your company that focuses on design expertise.
Yes, and I would say also beyond just design, just product focus.
Yeah.
We had one of our factories come in this week, and we were going around doing introductions. And it's amazing to hear 24 years, 17 years, 13 years, 20 years. There's a lot of tenure of expertise within those walls.
Well, it's wonderful. Now, from now on, I'm going to know that this is a piece of art.
There you go.
Okay, from now on. So thank you for that, and thank your team for that. Now, you mentioned earlier about another brand that's part of Outdoor Cap, and that is Junk Brands. And so talk about what is Junk Brands.
Junk Brands is it's a lifestyle brand, and it actually, the company right on Melissa and I on the corner, manufactures made in USA headbands.
Okay.
So Junk got its start really as a niche within the CrossFit community. And so it's very heavily focused on the leisure world of fitness. And so you'll see it in fitness and CrossFit gyms, but it's also exploded into baseball, cycling, running. And the reason is because it is the best headband on the market functionally. It's not about just how it looks. It also is an engineered piece of art, because the amount of sweat that headband can hold is amazing.
It is. Okay, I'm going to have to give you some kudos here, okay? I own like 3 junk brand headbands, okay? And I get them. I'm a cyclist, and when I go to the events, and you pay to ride all these events, and you have a goodie bag, and we always love those. And I'm most excited when I open that goodie bag and I reach in there and there's a junk headband. I mean, I'm telling you, I have 3. There's one always in my gear bag. There's a couple more that I have. I put them on when I ride. They're remarkable. They're so remarkable. They're so well done. And I wouldn't think about putting on another brand. I'm that committed to junk brands. So I can't believe I'm sitting across a person talking today about this. But this is a phenomenal brand. So it's awesome. Thank you for that.
We appreciate it a lot. And I will say that for those listening that are local, we do have on Melissa and I, the garage is open to be able to go in. And when it's not in your goodie bag, we have them in there with a wide assortment. And then junkbrands.com, they have about 6,000 different varieties. And a lot of people don't realize that we also have a wholesale business for, channels of distribution for it to be on retail shelf. But we also have a custom business so that organizations can custom order. Imagine if it's a school football team or a local CrossFit gym.
That's an awesome idea.
Or a bicycling club.
Yeah.
Or so we do, about 80% of our business is direct to consumer from our website, but we have a really healthy wholesale and custom business, and we're looking to actually scale that even more broadly. And so we welcome all of the projects.
Well, that's a great idea, because I arrive at 2 cycling clubs. I'm going to tell them about that, okay, and make sure they understand. We can get some made up in our cycling. So that's awesome. Okay, this has been so wonderful talking about your company and your culture, your principles that you're founded upon, and your team. And so, Jeanelle, as we just wrap up, and as you're, now sitting in the CEO seat of this phenomenal family-owned business, and that has so much potential, and you're extremely remarkable. I want to say that just in spending time with you and visiting with you, I can see now why you're leading this company, because of your passion and you're just really, really talented. So, as you think about the future a bit, okay, and Where do you see Outdoor Cap in junk, in junk brands? But where do you see Outdoor Cap in the future? Can you share some thoughts about that?
Well, first of all, let me tell you thank you.
So you're,
it's hard to see that in yourself, because I feel like I just show up every day and just do the best that I can and try to do better every day. And I've got a team of people around me that really are the experts in their own craft. So everything that is happening that is positive within the company is a result of how they show up every day and give to the mission and the values and the core of who we want to be. The future is, we believe that it's untapped. There's so much within the headwear space that we still can go out and conquer and gain market share for. And so we're going to continue to just lean into our foundational principles and seek out additional opportunities. We are on right now a digital transformation. I mentioned reducing complexity from our systems and processes. When you think about a 47-year-old company that has built a lot of systems, homegrown, we have a lot of work to do, and that we are doing to get ourselves to a point of being the most connected, most accessible headwear supplier in the nation. And so we have top leadership and Jermaine Oldham coming in and leading our tech team, which we've really invested in over the last 18 months to make sure that we have the developers on site to take us there. And so as I look to the future, that's really what I see is this connected ecosystem, that Outdoor Cap is the easiest company to do business with in every market, in every channel, with a digital transformation to be able to provide that service to our customers. And on the Jump brand side, they're a little ahead of us. You know, they were a startup that has been on the acceleration, and they got their start later in life. And so they're a little bit more technologically advanced than the 47-year-old giant. But the future for them is very bright. Within, you know, we continue just to have so much support from influencers and just everyday people like you that say, this is the best headband that I have. And so there's a lot of room within that headwear space, but that team's also up to a lot more. And I can't share yet, so we'll use this as a teaser. But Jump Brands has some big things on the horizon that I just look forward to witnessing how Craig is leading that forward. And that team of people, when you talk about passion, there is not a more passionate group of people. You know, they believe in the product because they're users. And so they show up every day knowing what it means to be junk and what their customers need and expect.
Well, I'll tell you, we wish you the best, and we're gonna keep up with you some. I want to keep up with you and Outdoor Cap and definitely Craig at Brands, and we'd love to have you come back sometime and bring Craig with you, and we'll get this thing going again. But it's been so wonderful having you at Doing Business in Bentonville. You know, our focus is around retail, around omnichannel, and what we're doing here at Doing Business in Bentonville is trying to demystify this whole concept around omnichannel and the retail, because it's so exciting where retail is going, and you know, the multiple ways that we can shop and most of us, I know this morning, before sunup, I was shopping online and done, and my product will be delivered this afternoon. It's amazing what omnichannel has done to retail, and is so much more in the future. But your focus, what you just laid out to us about your futuristic focus, I believe is critical and key to where it's going to take you to the next level. So congratulations on your strategy, on your focus, your vision for the future.
Thank you.
I know you guys are going to do great.
Thank you.
I know. Again, thank you, Jeanelle Harris, for being here, CEO, Outdoor Cap. We've had a wonderful conversation. Again, just the best to you and your company and your team.
I've been honored to be here.
Okay,
Really
thank you.
And
we can't sign off without thanking again two great people that have great impact in the company, and that's Paul Mahan and Jim Hayworth. We thank them and all of your team for everything you're doing. And again, best to you and your company.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're so glad that you joined us again. So you can always check us out at doingbusinessinbentonville.com, dbbnwa.com. Again, we're on your favorite streaming channels, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and again, you can always check us at our website. Again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching today. Have a wonderful day. It's always, again, good to see everyone. Thank you. Goodbye.